there are many folks who are either Jamaicans who are considering moving back to Jamaica, or people who are not Jamaican or don't have any bloodline affiliation to Jamaica who are considering moving here or staying here for an extended period of time. Is that something that you would recommend people consider?
I wish that, I have to be careful how I say this, returning Jamaicans would really look at some of the facts, because there's this myth, this perpetual myth that is so dangerous and the crime is so bad. Okay? But when you look at the raw data of returnees, see, one incident with a returnee is going to get a lot of attention, because people are going to go, see there, I know it wasn't safe. You know, and that one incident gets blown way up out of proportion.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another podcast episode. We are very fortunate and blessed to have another wonderful guest with us today. We have the pleasure of having Ms Memphis, who is an American expat and retiree here in Jamaica, and she runs one of the most popular Facebook groups based on Negril, maybe the most popular Facebook group based on Negril here. She uses it as a platform to build our community, uplift our community, and also as a philanthropic avenue to help lift up the Negril community. And it is my pleasure to welcome to our podcast today, Misti Memphis.
Oh, thank you for the kind words.
You're welcome. So let's start the conversation. So to get started, I do want to get a little bit of background on yourself.
Okay.
And as I mentioned, you are a retiree from the United States. And before you retired, what did you do as a profession?
I was a school teacher, guidance counselor. I spent more years being a guidance counselor than in the classroom. And then I retired and did 4 years with Delta Airlines. I loved it.
Okay.
I loved it.
Wonderful. Can you tell us when the first time was that you came to Jamaica?
April of 2000.
And what was the draw, if you will, or what gave you...
I was so afraid you were going to ask me that question.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay, so disclaimer. It was the movie How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
Okay.
But not the romantic aspect of it. There's a scene in there where she's trying to decide whether she's going to go to the pajama disco with Winston or not. And I found out later this movie was filmed at Round Hill.
I see.
Resort. And she throws the pajamas down on the bed and goes and sits on this ledge, and they do this panoramic 360 of the scenery. And right that second, I said, I have to go to that country. I have to go. I also thought someday I would sit on that ledge until I found out how much it costs to stay at Round Hill. Won't be happening. Won't be happening.
So did that bring you to Montego Bay, or did that bring you to Negril?
No, I didn't actually know what I was doing. I got a travel agent, and she suggested that we go to an all-inclusive in Ocho Rios.
Okay.
But it was a small Jamaican-owned all-inclusive. It was not one of the big mega all-inclusives. It was called Siboney. It doesn't exist anymore.
I see.
Actually, Butch Stewart bought it and turned it into a Sandals.
I see.
But so I started out an Ocho girl, and I was sold on Ocho Rios and didn't think much of Negril. Really didn't. Came here, it's too slow for me. You know, then you mellow a little bit in your age, and then Negril is just right for you.
I see.
It's just speed. So I ended up on this side of the island, and Negril stole me from Ocho Rios. This beach, that's what got me.
I see.
I'm not saying I've been everywhere in the world, but I seldom have I seen a beach I like more. I love the 7 Mile Beach.
And when was that first trip to Negril?
First trip to Negril was probably something like maybe 2003.
As far as, I'm sure you had many options as to where you could retire and spend the majority of your time. Why Negril?
It wasn't actually in my wildest imagination to retire to another country. I just thought I would stop teaching and live in Memphis. Negril just happened. Everything, all the stars lined up. The right person to keep my house back home, the right person to keep my little dog I had to leave behind, the right person to share the expenses here with, the right place to live, the right absolute most wonderful situation one could be in. Everything was just like an undeniable series of events that I felt like I was on a roller coaster ride, and I was just an observer watching life happen. Because if obstacle got in the path, it worked out. And it worked out, not just kind of worked out, it worked out perfectly. And it's almost been like a surreal dream. It's like I haven't had to do anything, it just all happened.
Oh, wow.
So I felt like there was a message, a reason behind it. Even Capital or Casual happened.
Right.
And the direction of Capital or Casual, this advocacy for Negril operated businesses, Jamaican operated businesses, this advocacy for people in need, it all just fell in place.
And I know in our pre-conversation to this interview, you had mentioned that back in Memphis that you were very much part of the civil rights movement in many ways, and fighting for rights of others.
Yes.
And can you give us a little background on that?
Well, I started demonstrating at the age of 3 to desegregate lunch counters at downtown Goldsmiths, Lowenstein's, Woolworth, all of those. My uncle was very active in the NAACP, and he saw to it that I was active also. And I think I marched with Dr. King when he came to Memphis on behalf of the sanitation workers. And I was sitting directly behind him when he made the mountaintop speech. And of course, I was devastated when Memphis took his life.
Mm-hmm.
But I helped to desegregate secondary, the school system. The elementary schools were already desegregated, but not the high schools. So in '68, I was part of desegregating the high school segment of Memphis city schools. I was among the first, when they first allowed black girls to run in the Miss America pageant system, I was one of the first ones. I ran for Ms Memphis the first year they allowed black girls to run.
Wow.
And I could just go on and on with that. My aunt was one of the first black women ever admitted to the military when they first formed the WACs in World War II.
Wow.
The history is rich in my family. My father was a Negro League baseball player.
Wow.
And he got to play in the majors after the color line was broken by Jackie Robinson. He played for the Rochester Royals. So it's just in my blood.
I see. and one of the reasons why I bring that up is that you had mentioned before that was also part of the inspiration in starting Capital of Casual, the Facebook group that you founded and now are the administrator for.
Right.
And so can you dive a little bit into that inspiration and also the purpose of the group?
Well, I didn't have a purpose at first. I formed it capriciously on a whim. Everybody may not know, but everybody has a little button that says start a group. It's at the top of your Facebook page. And all you have to do is click on it and it'll take you through the steps. So on a whim, I actually started it. And when I got ready to have the first year anniversary at Canoe Bar and Grill, all Jamaican business people showed up for the anniversary. Now, I was expecting tourists to come, that were in town. But all these Jamaican business people showed up, and everybody had business cards, and they were ready to network. And it just sort of hit me like a ton of bricks. Well, maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing, advocating for them. So the steps are, we would like for you to choose Jamaica as your vacation destination. It's a big world. There's a lot of places you could go. Once you get to Jamaica, we want you to make that extra little drive over to Negril. And when you get here, let's try to put money in the hands of Jamaican hotels, tour operators, businesses the manicure, pedicure lady, to get everybody all the way down the line. Let's try to leave some money in some Jamaican hands. That's the whole mission of Capital of Casual.
I love that. And I am, of course, a member of the Capital Casual Facebook group, and I didn't.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I didn't know that that's why or a big reason why it got started. And one thing I do also like about the group is how it's moderated, and it really is a group that's peaceful. It's community driven. It's probably one of the best places, our news source places that I go to find out what's happening on the ground in Negril, because I do find the information there to be accurate. And then I also feel, just from observation, that it's a way of people who are not here in Negril to keep in touch and see what's happening and what's going on.
It's hard to, my Canadian members are really sad.
Man, I can imagine.
And I'm going to put a plug in. Michelle Kenny, I'm at Travelers. I'm at your place. And the divas were devastated.
Oh, man.
Devastated that they had to cancel their trip. They loved Travelers. They wanted to get back here, but they're coming. They're coming.
Okay. Well, we're here. We're waiting for you guys. Waiting for you guys. Another aspect of the group that I wasn't aware of was the philanthropic aspect.
Yes.
And could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Very dedicated to Hope for Hunger. It came about because of the pandemic, people being laid off their jobs, economy turned upside down. Their bags are roughly $25 US a bag, and there's enough food in there to feed a family of 4 for a week. And many times my members, bless their hearts, I love you members, pay for bags, send them to my house, and I distribute them.
And these are care packages of produce, canned goods?
Actually, there's no produce.
No
it's
produce.
Canned goods and dry goods.
Okay.
But there's things in there. You can make porridge. You can make rice and peas. You can make mackerel rundown.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
there's enough food in there. You can make it stretch.
No, that's excellent, because I know from our family's nonprofit organization that efforts of that nature are greatly needed and greatly appreciated. And I think that's one thing that, I don't know, many people don't really understand how hard it is on the average Jamaican. And so definitely really appreciate that. So where can people find out more information about Hope for Hunger?
Hope for Hunger has their own Facebook page. Just type in Hope for Hunger Negril Jamaica in the search bar, and it'll take you to that. It'll take you to that page. We also very vested with giving out whole chickens. We did one of my members about $230 worth of chickens out of his own pocket last week.
Amazing.
And we were able to distribute 25 chickens to families in need. We have given probably, I'd say, maybe 20 or 30 kids tablets. They were caught off guard with this online learning.
Yeah.
And sure, every child has every child has an electronic tablet in Jamaica. No, they don't. And we've never given them out. That once we give one to a child, the cousin or nephew or niece contacts us. I need one too.
Wow.
One tablet always leads to another tablet.
Right.
Let's see, we've done, we helped Negril Spay Neuter, Negril Pup Rescue. I have a member who gave a very generous donation to St. Anthony's Kitchen. Just established charities that we trust, that we know the money is going where it's supposed to go. That's what we support.
That's fantastic. And do you have any upcoming efforts that we should know about with Hope for Hunger?
Right now, Hope for Hunger will be giving out bags again in about a week.
Okay.
And I think I have probably about 10 paid for by those wonderful Capital Casual members. They care. They're dialed in. All I have to do is make a request, and they will try their best to help.
Amazing.
Yeah, they're a wonderful group of people.
Amazing.
I'm very, very, very proud of them.
Awesome. And I definitely encourage everybody, if you can search for Hope for Hunger Jamaica.
Hope for Hunger Negril Jamaica.
Hope for Hunger Negril Jamaica on Facebook. And if you can donate anything, I can tell you it will definitely go a very, very long way, and it will be much appreciated. So
yeah, that was nice of you to do that there. It's a constant struggle for them to keep the level of giving up.
Right, I can imagine. I'm just gonna grab our coconuts first.
Oh, we have coconuts. Oh, wow, this is nice. Thank you, sir. Okay. Watch your heart.
Yep, that's right. All right, so one thing I would say, like, I'm personally interested in, and I think also many of the viewers are interested in, is the day in the life, if you will, the lifestyle that you live as a retiree here in Negril.
All right.
And I see you when I'm running in the morning. Many mornings I see you on the walking path, sometimes by yourself, sometimes with a friend or a group of friends.
Right.
And I enjoy running and starting my day that way, and it seems like you do as well, taking your walk. Have you always been a walker?
I used to be a runner.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that.
But I developed heel spurs, and I just didn't do anything. But if I couldn't do my exercise of choice, I pouted just like a little child, and I refused to do anything.
Right.
So it took me a while to concede to just walking, because walking just wasn't getting it for me. But it's better than nothing at all, and the heel spurs have gotten better.
Okay.
But I just haven't had this whatever it takes to start back running again.
I see.
Yeah.
And how do you find the walks here in Negril?
Oh, they're beautiful. I wish I could figure out. See, it's still not quite daylight. You know, daylight. And I don't drive, and cars and the taxis aren't out much. But I would really love to walk the 7 Mile Beach.
I see.
You know, but in lieu of that, I find that the walking is great. I have to get up early in the morning, get it out of the way, because it's hot here.
Yeah.
I can't do heat.
Yep.
So I like to do mine early in the morning and get it out of the way.
I'm the same way. I have to be out before the sun gets up, comes up. And I think, like, we're so fortunate to have the walking running path. So that's what we're talking about. We have like a walking running path here in Negril that is about, I would say, a little over 2 miles.
Yeah.
And it's off the road, it's safe, it's clear, it's clean, nicely paved, and just so grateful that we have that as a community.
Yes.
And so I just wanted to know a little bit more about your walking, I guess. And so can you tell us a little bit about, like, what a typical day is for you, like, here?
Okay, I'm going to have to divide that up into before COVID.
Oh, fair enough.
Because now, honestly, I stay home because it's safer. But pre-COVID, my days were filled with some members in town. They want to meet Misti. Come have a drink with us. Come have lunch with us. Come have breakfast with us. Come have dinner with us, you know.
Yeah.
And then there were the concerts. I didn't miss a one. I wanted to see everybody, Taurus Riley, Chronics, everybody. You know, so I had a schedule, a social calendar. I had all these great events to go to. COVID Misti sort of stays home. You know, I don't really like. I have the mask over here. We've had our mask on, everybody. We took them off for the interview.
That's right.
But I stay home because I don't have to wear a mask at home, and I can just be comfortable.
Yeah.
Now, I have to go out to the grocery store, ATM, things like that. But it's kind of boring now. My life is boring. It really is.
So your retirement wasn't a sit home and read type of retirement pre-COVID. You were active in the community, enjoying essentially the best of Negril.
Winthrop, I had to have a schedule beside my bed. I had to, today is so and so, this is what you have to do today. It was wonderful.
Wow, amazing.
It was wonderful. I stayed busy. sometime on double, triple, we gotta have to run the treehouse and see somebody, and run down the Travelers, and run over to the Negril Beach Club condos, and give everybody like 30 minutes.
Right.
It's fun.
That's
I
amazing.
think it will return. I hope.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Do you have a favorite concert that you went to here in Negril?
Chronics. The one. Well, I've seen him twice here.
Okay.
The last time was in a field up at Long Bay Beach Park.
Okay.
And I believe that young man sang every single song he ever put out.
Wow.
That concert went on for at least 2 hours, and he was on stage at least 2 hours, and he did every song. I love all of them. It was great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But we were talking about this on Capital today, and I have to put this plug in. If anybody out there is listening, my Capital of Casual members, Negril Escape, we loved your concerts. Why did you stop? We want them back. They were well managed, well run. They started on time. The artists always showed up. They ended rather early. For us old folks, we like that. And we want the concerts back, Negril Escape.
So I remember those concerts.
Oh, they were great.
They were fantastic.
Everybody says it, and you all have to listen to us, Negril Escape.
And yeah, for those that don't know, they were epic concerts. I would say you probably had the best reggae artists. Would you agree that they were at the time? Mm-hmm. And they were at this venue, Negril Estate, which is on the west end of Negril.
Right.
Extremely professionally put together.
Very good.
As you mentioned, starts on time, ends on time,
ended on time.
Obeys the Noise Abatement Act that we have in place, and it was a well-supported event, and it was something I was proud of. It's as somebody from Negril.
I am clueless as to why they stopped having it, and everybody's been clamoring for it back.
Okay.
Oh, and then my absolute favorite thing about Negril is Different Strokes Retro Party. Every March and every November, Different Strokes. I love that party. I live for that party. I live for it.
A lot of people feel the same way. So again, for folks that don't know, Different Strokes is a biannual event that they have, and all they play is old school music.
Right.
Nothing new. I'm talking about, I would say,
and they play the whole song.
That's right. And they're not screaming on the mic.
Absolutely. I love it.
You
love
hear
it,
the whole
love
song.
It, love it.
I mean, we're talking about all the way to the 50s, I even want to say, music. Yeah. All the way back. And it really is, I would say, a classy time, and a lot of people enjoy it and look forward to it. And I know the entertainment industry in general is looking forward to having some sort of normalcy, and I'm sure people like yourself as well are looking forward to events such as that.
To get, I always describe Different Strokes as a party with 2,000 of my best friends under the stars. Because I would think it's about 2,000 people there.
Yeah.
That's my crowd estimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is
no
a fantastic
drama.
Right.
No problems. Just 2,000 happy people in a field having a blast and loving each other. It's great. I love Different Strokes.
Yeah, I've been to it many times. Another well organized, professionally put together event that Negril can be proud of.
Yes, it is.
I know you said COVID lifestyle now is a little bit boring.
Yeah.
How has it been?
Well, let's just say that boring is not so bad. Alive is good.
Okay.
All right. When it first hit, my family, my friends, everybody, get on a plane and come home now. You can't. They won't be able to handle this. They're going to be overwhelmed. And for the longest, Jamaica held at such a small number of deaths, and actually has been recognized as one of the top 5 countries in the world that's handling this pandemic the best. Almost a model for other people to follow. They've done an excellent job. I won't speak to the spikes and the increases and whose fault it is, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to speak to that because I'm no expert. But I still feel that even though numbers have gone up, Jamaica tries the government, they try.
Mm-hmm.
They nobody has a playbook for how to handle a pandemic. The last time we had one was 100 years ago,
Right.
and this one already is morphing into other things, and it's no joke. But Jamaica has given it a best. I feel very confident, much safer here than I would back home.
And it's funny that you mentioned that about your friends and family telling you to come home.
Mm-hmm.
And so when this hit, so it was actually last year on my birthday, we went to catch a falling star for my birthday, March 11th, and that's when Tom Hanks was reported that he had the coronavirus.
Right.
And literally, we were like, all right, we have to come up with a plan. We were worried about my dad, 78 years old, and we thought the same thing. Jamaica's not going to be able to handle it, and we put him on the plane back to the States.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, in retrospect, it was one of the worst decisions that we made.
Right.
Much better off down here. And he was in Florida, of all places, right? And so I can't agree with you more. I'm extremely proud of how the Jamaican government has handled it. They made a lot, in my opinion, they made a lot of hard choices early in the beginning, shutting down the cruise lines, shutting down the country for months. Obviously, it hurt our business. It hurt hospitality in a major way that's going to take years to recover from. But at the end of the day, I think by them doing that, Prime Minister saved countless lives that we really have to be thankful
and poor
for.
Minister Bartlett, I don't know how he's been able to keep it together.
Right.
Because things just pop up like all of a sudden, and they have to end around and come up with like, for example, the testing. You have to have a test in order to get back into the United States. Can you hear the sound of people canceling their vacations? But all of a sudden, they popped up, all over Negril. Here, we're gonna get you tested. We're gonna get you back home.
Right.
Any stumbling block that's been thrown in Jamaica's way, Jamaica has found a way to deal with it.
I agree.
Very resourcefully. Yes.
Yeah, they've been able to adapt very quickly, and again, I was surprised. And again, looking back, we made a mistake with our decision in having our dad go up. But you live and you learn. And again, I too feel very safe here, and I'm happy that and feel also very lucky that I've been here throughout the entire pandemic. Moving on to again, I guess your retirement here, and there are many folks who are either Jamaicans who are considering moving back to Jamaica, or people who are not Jamaican or don't have any bloodline affiliation to Jamaica, who are considering moving here or staying here for an extended period of time. Is that something that you would recommend people consider?
Oh, definitely. I belong to another group. It's an excellent group. It's called Black Expats in Jamaica.
Okay.
Because historically, we haven't been the ones that could afford or had the resources to relocate like this. But that group is sitting at 800 and some strong now, I believe, right now. And it's people who either are already here or they're planning to make the move. And they advise and help each other. Most of my young folks want to be in Montego Bay or Kingston. And actually, a lot of them are still in the workforce. Now, that's something that I didn't choose to do in Jamaica. I waited until I was fully retired and came. I never thought about the notion of working here. That's a whole nother ball game.
Right.
But I wish that, I have to be careful how I say this, returning Jamaicans would really look at some of the facts, because there's this myth, this perpetual myth that is so dangerous and the crime is so bad. Okay? But when you look at the raw data of returnees, see, one incident with a returnee is going to get a lot of attention, because people are going to go, see there, I know it wasn't safe. And that one incident gets blown way up out of proportion. If you look at, and I have a friend, Mark Renaissance Cameron, he did a whole research on the 4 or 5 incidents in the past, I say 6 or 7 years. And it really boiled down to what your mother told you. You have to be careful of the company that you keep and the people you let around you. All of those instances, you can trace back to those reasons pretty much, okay? I wish that Jamaican people who have left this country and gotten educated, well employed, well heeled financially, they have all of these resources, they have all these wonderful skill sets. I would love to see them bring it back to Jamaica. If you clog this whole system with intelligent, educated, viable people, you push the weeds out. You come and they demand certain services. Everything gets better for everybody. I wish I had one little itty bitty drop of Jamaican blood. I wish I could find it somewhere. I just wish I could find it somewhere. If this was my country, I'd be so proud and I'd be back here in a hot minute. Trust me. I think they should come back.
That's amazing, and like how you look at it, and I think that is good advice per se. And I feel the same way, especially as it relates to your point about Jamaicans coming back and bringing their knowledge, experience,
they have
their education.
So much to give, and this country needs it.
And I think bringing it back to Negril, that there is tremendous opportunity here, especially if you have an entrepreneurial mindset. And even if you don't, but if you have a particular skill set that we are lacking here, and I would say, generally speaking, for example, pretty much anything IT. There's a lot of IT solutions that we need here. There's also a lot of brick and mortar solutions that we need here that are, I wouldn't necessarily say essential, but they would be more lifestyle driven and lifestyle appreciated. And even I always say, even a nice standalone coffee shop would do tremendous here. A place where people can go meet up, do work, things of that nature. And if you have experience doing that, I say you can bring that here. We don't have a lot of, what would I say, traditional family social things to do here. Like, we don't have a movie theater, we don't have a bowling alley, and even little businesses like that, I think they would be tremendously supported. And I always encourage people who have any ambition to do things of that nature to, hey, come to Negril, you'll be supported. And of course, when it comes to digital nomads, there's a tremendous amount of infrastructure and places that you can go and live to do that. And speaking of living, what would you say, and maybe you can use yourself as an example, how would somebody go about finding a place to live here, or maybe even what was your experience?
Well, I actually ran across by accident a young lady, I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's on Capitol. She has a relocation service.
Wow.
That helps expats or anyone come and returnees, a list of all her services, and she will help you get settled. And one of the services was finding housing. Okay.
I see.
I just looked up on my house. My house literally dropped in my lap. Just dropped in my lap. I needed to move from place number 1 because the landlord was going to go up way too much on the rent. So I knew I had to go, and it just dropped in my lap, and it's absolutely the perfect fit for me and my friends. There's another point I wanted to tell you. Retired school teachers aren't rich, so what I did was I made my own timeshare. There were 3 of us, and we share the expenses, and we flex the time that the person is using the house. You can either have it all to yourself, and I'll go somewhere while you're there.
Right.
But my friends, we're good friends, and they actually like having me there.
Okay.
And we just all hang out together, during their time. But I get to stay the longest because I'm retired. But the other 2 parties are still working people.
I see.
It's to my advantage. I'm here, and they're paying part of my rent.
That is very, very smart. I've never heard of that, but I think that's
Actually,
a
it's a
smart way to do it.
concept. It's called international house sharing.
Okay.
Google it.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was when I invented it,
I see.
but I know now
Okay.
that it's called international house sharing.
I will definitely look
Yeah.
into that. Look into that. I guess one last question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you happy here?
Extremely, I really am. I have to go home soon to do some medical things and take care of some family business, and I know the date in my head, and I am miserable thinking about it. I just don't want to leave Jamaica. I don't want to leave. A dull day here is better than any day back in the States.
I see. And I could tell, like, even when in our pre-conversation, that you really enjoy being here, even from your online presence and how passionate you are, not only about the group, but also Negril in general. I could tell and feel your happiness, and that's why I was comfortable and confident in asking you that question. And I think just when somebody feels so passionate about Negril in particular, I think it's important that we let people know.
Yes, it's a lovely place to be. I really couldn't imagine being anywhere else. It's just amazing how my path got led to here. You couldn't tell me I wasn't gonna live in a Rockabessa outside of Ocho Ridge. That's where I had made up my mind I was gonna be. Somehow Negril got me.
It got you.
And the next thing I knew, I was here.
That's amazing.
And I'm glad.
That's amazing. Well, I know from the community standpoint, like, you're a staple here, and a lot of people appreciate what you're doing. And
that sure is good to know.
Yeah, I can tell you that.
That sure is good to know.
And you have, not to toot your horn, but, like, you have a great reputation here, and people speak very highly of you.
Thank you. That's good to know.
Like, even I can tell you, it was another person who said, like, you have to get Misti on your podcast. Yeah, she has a lot of knowledge and information, and so I was like, yes, of course, we're gonna get Misti on.
I've enjoyed doing it very much. I want everybody to join Capital of Casual Negril Jamaica on Facebook, please. I'm trying to get to 20,000. I'm sitting at 16,900 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to make it to 20.
Yep, and I encourage you to join it, especially if you want up-to-date information on what's happening in Negril, but also even Jamaica. I find a lot of general information, especially with COVID. There's been a lot of accurate information, up-to-date information. So yes, I definitely encourage you to do that and join the discussion there as well. And so thank you so much, Misti, for doing this.
Thank you for asking me.
Of course.
And my meal was wonderful. I had traveler's escovitch fish, rice and peas, and salad. It was good.
Awesome. So thank you once again for being here, and thank you all for watching and listening. I really appreciate it, and we will see you in the next episode. Take care.